This video provides an overview of the activities in week 4 for SIT162. Just to recap on some of the key points in the unit, on the home page of the unit site are various announcements that occur each week. These will keep you updated with the activities that are happening for that week and any changes that might be relevant to you. If you're not receiving these via email at the moment, remember you can go to your profile and set up your notifications so that you get these as soon as they are posted. Otherwise, you'll need to check the homepage to see what updates have been made and any announcements about where to find particular resources. And particularly under the content section, there are a number of sections that are particularly relevant to you at the moment. The assessment section has got the full details of all the assessment tasks, and I recommend that you review these if you haven't already. And particularly, the case study is due at the end of week 3. The portfolio will have a submission coming up in about 2 weeks' time, and there will be a submission for the product development pitch, which will be due towards the end of the trimester break. Other things that you should be aware of are the discussion forums, where there is a lot of activity happening at the moment. In particular, there are discussion forums around the case study and around the product development process for teams. And we're looking forward to seeing some postings there about the meetings that your teams conducted during week 3. Now, specifically to the activities for week 4, under the content section, you will find, as usual, the weekly resources. The week 4 materials include the preparation activities for the class this week. This week, we're covering a particular technology on behavioral modification, which includes elements of gamification, but also other ways in which technology can be used to direct participants' behavior in particular ways. In the practicals this week, you will be meeting as a team as another stage in the design sprint. So this week we are going to be undertaking the sketch stage of the design sprint. This is where you will start off generating some very creative ideas on how to solve the problem that your team identified during the team meeting last week. So make sure your team has met and has clearly defined what problems relevant to the goals that were assigned that the team is going to be working on. You can get a head start with this process by using the ideas covered in the week 1 materials in order to trigger your creativity and generate as many interesting ideas as you can. Also meet with your team and see if you can take advantage of the different ideas that people are producing in order to enhance your own ideas, in order to mix and match the ideas between team members. Once you've done that, you're going to need to make a record of the ideas that you produced. These are going to be part of your final assessment, so don't lose them. And then as a team, you're going to need to decide which ideas you think are best and report those on the discussion forums on the unit site. What we're going to do next week is then get together. You as a team will need to arrange a time to get together and decide exactly what sort of prototype you're going to build based on the ideas that you came up with. And remember, what you're looking for is to make sure that each team member can contribute one technology-based component to your product prototype in order to be effective. So you need to learn a particular technology skill, either in the tutorials provided for the portfolio or in the content covered in the class, and show that you can make use of that technology skill when targeted to produce a particular aspect of the prototype, and then your collective contributions will represent the prototype that you will be evaluating and submitting by the end of the trimester. And talking about the skills development, the next skills development tutorial is available as well. So this one is going to be focusing on using sensor data. And once again, there are a range of materials provided to you under the Technologies for Portfolio section on the unit site. This week, there are videos related to the use of sensor technology and how to collect that. And again, an example of how to address a particular challenge using this technology. So the challenge that you're going to have to address as part of this activity is to work out how you're going to collect and share data to help fight pandemics. A very broad goal. You can then decide specifically on a particular aspect of that, whether you're trying to create an early warning system, whether you're trying to manage resource allocation, or whether you're trying to provide something like a diagnostic or a treatment using the sensor technology. What is also happening is you will be submitting a draft of your portfolio for assessment soon. And so you can start taking some of the materials that you have produced over the various skills development activities and start including those in your digital folio. Again, consult the week 1 activity in order to have a look at the different options for hosting your folio and for examples of what could be considered to be good portfolios. And in particular, what we would suggest is that you need to have in your portfolio a number of things: a title page with your name and other relevant information, which is a portfolio after all, and then you're going to be collecting the various elements that you're going to be showing off in your portfolio. You're going to need at least 4 of them by the time you get to the end of this unit, but for this checkpoint, you need to have 1 available for assessment, so 1 completed in sufficient detail. What each element must describe is the skill that the element represents. So what you are trying to show off in that portfolio element. You can then present the challenge you were provided and explain how you are going to apply that skill in order to address the challenge. Give us some evidence, so show us what you're doing. There are a couple of ways of doing this: a high-level overview showing your critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and then a specific detail showing how you use that technology in order to reach a solution with pictures, reports, links to online content, or anything that is going to be appropriate to that particular form of technology. And of course, any materials that you use in the process must be referenced as well. There is a rough structure given there. These are elements that are useful to include. So describe your portfolio element, give it a title, perhaps a 1-line descriptor, explain what the goals or the purpose of. Remember, somebody reviewing this is only going to have 30 seconds to pick up what you're trying to show off here. So make sure you communicate all the details clearly and effectively. As a worst case scenario, when you complete the video tutorial, show what you achieved with that. If you've gone above and beyond that, then you can jump straight to the after section where you show what you have done. But really it is about explaining that you understand the principles behind the technology and that you can reapply them to other problem contexts, which is why we have the challenges, and then that you're actually capable of carrying out the process itself so that you actually have the specific skills in order to be able to apply the knowledge as well. And then you can add an extra comment showing how what sort of understanding you have gained in that process as well.